3rd and 7. And McCarron goes down the field, and it's caught and breathes in for the touchdown.
Two things in life that suck: death, taxes, and 85 will always go.
Welcome to New Stripe City, a podcast for die-hard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. And man, it's been a while, it seems like, right? I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life as far as my son being sick, wanting him to get better. He hasn't been having too good of a time, but he's starting to turn the corner, so that's good news. Also, I've been dealing with some stuff around the house, homeowner stuff, so you guys know what I mean when I say that. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I've been uploading a lot of content, more so like Game of Stripe stuff. But I love doing this, man. This is what I come on here to do, to talk to you guys, to talk to Who They Nation, let you guys know what my thoughts are on certain things going on. And I've honestly felt kind of bad because with the certain situations going on right now, I haven't been able to talk to you guys like I really want to. And I haven't been able to contribute as much as I really want to. So I just wanted to go ahead and, now that we're in a good space, get back to it. So, starting things off, if you've been paying attention to the website and to my Twitter and everything, we have a new campaign going. And for all you guys that listen to the show, you guys are familiar with the Bruh Drop. If you've been listening since day one, you know about the Bruh Drop. For those who don't know what the Bruh Drop is, go listen to some of like my early episodes. And it was like a famous New Stripe City kind of drop that I would do. But I use it because a lot of people in Cincinnati actually use the word bruh. And it's kind of like a comedy kind of thing. But I wanted to do something that was stand for something, basically. And we've seen recently in the news that there's been a lot of bullying and, you know, kids actually hurting their own selves and taking their own lives and things of that nature because of bullying. So I didn't want to just put out a shirt to make some money. I wanted to put out a t-shirt that was funny, but also had a purpose behind it. So if you haven't checked, I have on my website at newstripecity.com, there's a link to the Bruh t-shirts, and they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. They're only about like $17. I think the hoodies are like $27 or something like that. I think I tried to actually price them with like Bengals jersey numbers, so it might be like $18 for AJ Green, $27 for Drake Kirkpatrick, but 10% of all of these proceeds are going to the Anti-Bullying Foundation. And this is my first try at this, and definitely if it goes well, I'll definitely keep it going. I'm probably going to have on the actual shirt this Sunday, hopefully on NFC Live. I already bought my own, so hopefully it comes in. But yeah, check it out, man. It's for a good cause, and if this does well, we'll continue to do things for local charities around Cincinnati and around the U.S. So with that being said, let's get into why you're here. I'm going to talk about a lot today. I hope you guys don't mind. You know, we are Bengals fans. I do this for y'all. Aunt Phil. I just want to give a shout out to Aunt Phil, man. I truly appreciate these kind words that you just said on my YouTube page, leaving the comments. And if you're not aware of my YouTube page, make sure you check that out. It's New Stripe City. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook. But Aunt Phil commented, Ace, you are my favorite Bengals podcast to listen to, even over the bigger names. I've been watching since the first episode, and your show keeps getting better. Keep up the good work. Man, I truly appreciate that, and it feels so good to get support from you guys and to hear things like that. I really am humbled, and I appreciate your support, and that's what I do it for, man. It's true passion that comes through here. I really love the Bengals. I really love our fans. I feel like we have a unique fan base. I feel like the national media kind of gives us a bad rap because they don't understand our history. But I feel like we're some of the most loyal and diehard fans in the NFL, and people don't realize it. But yeah, man, once again, thanks for that. Also, before I really can't forget this. Now, this is really for the diehards. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to do this basic giveaway of a Chad Ochocinco authentic autographed picture. So it's actually, I believe it's from I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it's from the Cowboys game. But it's an authentic, autographed Chad Ochocinco picture that I will be giving away to a lucky fan. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's New Stripe City, and once we get to 1,000 subscribers on there, we'll definitely do an announcement. And then another way that you can get it is if you leave a review on this podcast. It could be a 4 or 5 star, whatever you want to leave. But once we get to 100 reviews, then that person will also have a chance of winning this Ochocinco autograph. I mean, really, like, true Bengals fans definitely would want something like that. I didn't want to give you anything cheesy. I really went out and spent money on this, so make sure you check it out. I'll probably be doing some kind of way to show it to you guys. You know, this is just the audio show, but maybe later on I'll probably show you guys the actual photo. It's dope. I honestly don't want to give it up, but hey, if it's to another Bengals fan, I definitely will. But now that I've got that out of the way, you guys know where to find me. Follow me on Twitter at New Stripe City. You know where to find our stuff. Let's talk about Trey Hopkins, right? And if you're on my YouTube channel, there is a video that I came out with where I was basically doing a scouting report on Trey Hopkins. I tried to tell a lot of people about Trey Hopkins a long time ago. I probably said about 3 or 4 months ago I was talking about Trey Hopkins. And my initial projection was that he could possibly play the left tackle as a backup, but he definitely can play guard, right guard, right? And it's crazy because he's been getting work with the first team at guard, and I'm not surprised. If you actually watch the video that I uploaded on my YouTube channel, I talk about how the guy, like, basically got into that last Ravens game and did some work. He, like, pancaked Brandon Williams twice. The guy was pretty nasty. He's very versatile. Paul Alexander calls him the 2017 Dave Lapham. I read that courtesy of Jim Oswarski. He's a guy that can play all 5 positions on that offensive line. He's definitely a guy to keep your eye on. I think that he's honestly definitely floating under the radar, but I think that he's a lock for the team. He can do a lot. They can play him at a lot of positions. And he's a pretty good player, even though he was an undrafted college free agent. He's been with the Bengals since 2014. I've always kept my eye on him since then. He came out of Texas. But yeah, it really doesn't surprise me that he's out here getting snaps with the first team. If you watched him in that game last year, he actually got some snaps with the first team too and did pretty well. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure you check it out because I go more in depth on how I kind of assess him as a blocker. Next, let's talk about something that I saw on social media. So Jeremy Hill, if you guys follow him on Instagram, he Instagrammed a picture saying that these people, essentially, this is the edited version, are praying for my downfall, right? And I actually have a little bit of inside info on that. I'm not going to put it out there. I probably shouldn't even have brought it up, but just know that Jeremy Hill is definitely motivated. And, you know, I think that although I feel like the person who's kind of doing this and kind of making him feel this way on the team is trying to motivate him, I really just hope that it doesn't cause an issue, right? Because it's like, from Jeremy Hill's perspective, you're already in a situation where the Bengals just drafted a running back in Joe Mixon in the 2nd round. You've heard all of this stuff about how, you know, you basically lost the game for the Bengals in the playoffs 2 years ago. You know, only do good against the Browns. You have to hear this whole offseason of naysayers. And to me, it's just worse if somebody on your own team is kind of doing that as well. But I hope that, you know, this thing soon passes. So far, I've heard that Hill has taken the high road and not kind of giving into it. But, you know, he's facing a lot of pressure. And I think that, in my opinion, I think he's going to respond. I think that he's going to come out swinging, and he's going to shock a lot of people. You know, he might not end up staying with the Bengals, but I think that he'll definitely be good enough, and he is good enough to play for another team. And I think that some people should kind of tread with caution, you know, trying to write Hill off, because the last thing that you want to do is, you know, make the guy mad, and then he ends up signing with the Steelers or the Ravens, and then he's going off on you and you're getting upset. Well, you know, you got to realize these people are people too. And, you know, they have to deal with difficult situations like that, especially if you ever played football before. That's a rough situation to be in, where you're competing with somebody and you don't know whether or not you're going to be keeping your job. You don't know what the next day will bring. You go from being a starter to a backup, and nobody truly wants to do that. I mean, you see guys out here that are classy with it and some guys that are not classy with it. And so far, Jeremy Hill has been classy. He's been very supportive of what they can do as a team, and I think that that's what the idea needs to be. You know, there's a common goal here. We don't need to pit players against each other. And why pit Jeremy Hill and Joe Mixon against each other? What is that actually going to do? So, you know, I hope that things don't boil over, but I think cooler heads will prevail, and the team goal needs to be number one. That's just my opinion on it. So, I support Jeremy Hill. I support, you know, Joe Mixon. I support all of them. So, I think that we could possibly have the best three-headed attack come this upcoming season. Excuse me. So moving on. Even though I'm not getting paid for this, I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm gonna put other Bengals fans on things that I've noticed. So if you check out the Bengals Pro Shop, they have some pretty good sales going on, right? So you got a couple of jerseys that are $25 off. You have some shirts and stuff. I mean, if you're trying to get some exclusive Bengals gear, definitely hit them up. I even saw like a John Ross jersey for like $70 or something like that. So make sure you definitely check out the Bengals Pro Shop. Obviously, that's on Bengals.com. Check them out. Get you some gear for the season, because you know the closer it gets to football season, those prices go up. So don't say that I didn't tell you. But other than that, let's talk about some stuff that's going around in the AFC North, man. Jeremy Macklin to the Ravens. How y'all feel about that? I kind of called this, man. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's a Tampa Bay fan, and we were actually getting ready to play Madden. It's funny because you guys don't see me actually play Madden on Game of Strikes, but I do play Madden. I don't play it as much as I used to. I used to be like a super Madden head. I don't really play it now that I have a family and everything like that. You know, everybody wants to be on the TV, so you can't just be hogging the TV anymore. But anyway, we're playing the game, and like as we're playing the game of Madden, I got a notification on my phone from Bleacher Report, you know, that Jeremy Macklin was cut by the Chiefs, and automatically I'm thinking like, oh man, wow, why would the Chiefs do that? Like, you know, they have Tyreek Hill, but who do they have outside of that? Are you really going to cut Jeremy Macklin because of, you know, the Conley guy? I think that's his name. I don't know who the backup is. Chris Conley, I think was what his name is. I wouldn't have done that, but apparently they were comfortable with doing it. I think it was more so kind of like a money thing. Apparently, I mean, especially with them paying my boy Eric Berry what they paid him this year, and you know, Macklin having issues with, you know, staying healthy and being durable. That's probably what contributed to it. But the first thing that popped into my head, I told my friend, I was like, I would not be surprised if the Ravens sign Macklin. It's right up their alley. You know, Ozzie Newsome, he's good at getting veterans to come there. And my friend actually recommended, to his credit, he actually thought that he would go to the Bills. Ends up being that those are the two teams that were vying for his services. They also said that the Eagles were too, which was kind of crazy to me because they kind of loaded at receiver, bro. I was kind of taken back by that. But anyway, so he ended up signing with the Ravens, and I was so mad because it's just not fair, bro. It's really just not fair. Like, I was honestly making fun of Ravens fans and stuff because they haven't addressed any receivers. And I don't know how they thought that Brashad Perriman was really going to be a number one and Mike Wallace was really going to be their number two, and they were really going to do something. Jeremy Macklin is a weapon. Jeremy Macklin is very dynamic, and all you need to know about that is go back to the last time we played him. I think Jeremy Macklin like went off on us the last time we played him when he was on the Chiefs. I'm not going to say that it scares me, but it's a real possibility that the Ravens will not only get Jeremy Macklin, but may also get Eric Decker. I wouldn't put that past them either. I'm just going to throw that out there. We're not going to get Eric Decker, bro. We're too loaded at receiver. I mean, you talking about John Ross. And, yeah, we just had an injury with Cody Core, but, I mean, we're too loaded to be paying out or shelling out more money for receivers. So, in my opinion, I think it does make the Ravens better. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I'm really a big fan of Jeremy Macklin, excuse me. I've liked him since he was in Philly. He's just a really solid receiver. But what I do think is that it will entice guys like Pac-Man Jones and William Jackson and guys like that to step up their game, because that's going to be now AB. You have Martavis Bryant coming back next year. Now you add Jeremy Macklin to that mix. Corey Coleman, I'm not really, I loved him coming out of college, but I'm not going to say that he's a superstar receiver yet at all, or a threat, a super big threat, or a guy that needs to be on your radar. But, yeah, man, the Ravens definitely got better. Let's hope that they don't get Eric Decker. I'm not really trying to see that happen. A lot of people are kind of sleep on how good Eric Decker is, by the way. Eric Decker is very good. But, yeah, like, I'm not really too worried about it, but definitely was not shocked to see it happen. So I don't understand how that even happens, how, like, a guy like Jeremy Macklin can get cut and then signed for pennies on the dollar. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, let's also talk about the wide receivers. We talked about Cody Core. Obviously, he had a little bit of an injury scare, but he seems like he's going to be okay. He should be fine, man. I heard that it's more so like a knee bruise or something like that. Listening to the Bengals, the BBP. People think just because I have a Bengals podcast that I'm not going to admit that I listen to the other ones. I don't have a problem with doing that. I listen to all of them, like I told y'all on the last one. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan, and I do this for the fans. So we're gonna listen to the same stuff. I'm not gonna try to, take somebody's stuff or say something that somebody else is talking about and then try to act like it's not mine. That's not what we do here. But anyway, yeah, I believe that they said that he had a minor injury and should be back. So hopefully he's back for preseason and he can compete, because I really think that Cody Core was a sleeper coming into this year, and I think that he's definitely going to make the team and could make some headlines or make some waves early on. I mean, you talk about having Cody Core in kind of that James Wright role. I think that he would excel in that. James Wright used to never really get many snaps, but when he did, they would go to him as like that fourth receiver. So I'd love to see Cody Core get used the same exact way. And we cannot talk about wide receiver or the position without talking about John Ross, right? So John Ross is back. He graduated. He's been shadowing AJ, which I love. He's already talking about certain players on the team that he's looking up to, and it's cool. Now I know that he's supposed to be out, and I would kind of pace yourself as a fan, and that's really the right thing for the Bengals to do is to kind of pace John Ross into this whole situation. He's coming back from a shoulder injury, and I believe it was like a torn labrum. So if you're not sure what that is, that's what William Jackson III had last year. So, last season, let me be specific, since some people are anal about that. But, yeah, he basically had a torn labrum. So when you're a wide receiver, you kind of want to keep those shoulders straight, bro. So I'm all with them, holding off on John Ross until he's ready. Obviously, he said that he would like to play as soon as possible, but you have to think about the wear and tear from the college season plus the NFL season. A lot of guys get worn down, i.e. Tyler Boyd last year. So it's going to be interesting to see him play. I just can't wait to see what people are going to say once the kid plays. You're talking about a guy that runs a 4.22 who's been basically the topic of the entire offseason, along with Joe Mixon, who, if you listen to my last podcast, it seems like AJ Green and Vontaze Burfict think that the guy could potentially make the Pro Bowl as a rookie, which, of course they're not going to say that out in media circles because, that would be blown all the way up. But that's what the barbershops are saying, fam, is that they think that, he can possibly be a Pro Bowl rookie, and why not? You saw it with guys like Jordan Howard and other guys, so it could be a possibility. But with that being said, I'm going to actually stream tonight the Chargers game. So if you follow my my YouTube channel, you'll definitely get I think there's like a bell or something that you have to hit now. But if you hit that bell, then you'll get notified that I'm streaming live. So I'm going to do it live, and I'm thinking about possibly starting to do this show somewhat live. I won't turn the camera on, but I might do it live just to hear you guys ask me questions and things of that nature. So like I said, man, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave us a review so you can be eligible for that Chad Johnson and Ocho Cinco, whatever you want to call them, autograph photo. And as usual, I'll leave you guys with a Who Dey all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.